Call the meeting to order, please. I need any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Okay, declare that closed. I need to move in a second or to move into closed session. Counselor Sharp, Counselor Elliott. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask you to please stand. With the Indigenous land acknowledgement and so on. Thank you.
We begin this meeting by acknowledging that Quinte West is on Indigenous land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. We thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, there have been Indigenous peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabeg, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte First Nation. This territory is covered by numerous treaties. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contribution of the Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our province and country as a whole. This acknowledgement serves as recognition of the contributions and historical significance of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island and demonstrates our collective commitment to meet the promises and address the challenges of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission within our community.
Coming this evening or this afternoon, and we hope to be out of here before we get dark weather or the night begins to shine upon us. Any comments from any council members at this time? Councilor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was very surprised and upset that for the second year in a row, the local fireworks contract is not awarded to a local company. The first year I was told it was too late to change it, and then I find out that I don't even know anything until it's awarded again. I think it's very upsetting. We're trying to support a program that says support local business. How does it look when we don't, as a city, even support local business when we're trying to put this type of program out? Not happy about it at all.
Thank you. Councilor Quince.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to make a comment regarding our beloved Hamilton Road, which in the last 12, 13 years, the city's spent millions of dollars on, including widening the shoulders and putting nice asphalt surface from the CN tracks over to Wallbridge Loyalist Road and putting street lighting at the intersections and at Aikens Road, adding turning lanes, and still people crash their vehicles. So I'm just asking the community if they could just slow down a bit and stay off the phone and don't drink and don't take drugs and drive careful. That road seems to have a history that is so long. I can't explain that there's at least 3 to 6 accidents that occur along that road stretch almost every year since I started on council. I'm sure it was probably before as well. Thanks.
Thank you. Coming this way, anybody else? Councilor Reid?
Thank you. 2 things. The Frankfurt Huskies are in their conference championship now. There's 1 game. They're playing against Uxbridge. Frankfurt and Uxbridge are tied for the wins. The next game will be Thursday night, tomorrow night at the Frankfurt Arena at 7 o'clock. So please come out and support your Huskies, cheer them on. And the second thing I wanted to mention was that on April 28th, there's a very, very important meeting and information session for candidates who want to run for municipal politics. Candidate Information Night at 5:30, April 28th, in the council chambers here. Come out and find out what's involved, and you'll be rewarded with lots of information. Thank you.
Okay, coming this way. Councillor Card?
Thank you, Your Worship. I wanted to notify any people viewing, watching on YouTube about the Work in Quinte Career Fair. We'll be on April the 15th from 1 to 6 p.m. at the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center. There will be 50 employers representing multiple sectors, full and part-time positions available, and applicants are asked to bring their resumes and talk to some of the great businesses, employers in Quinte West and Bay of Quinte region.
Councillor Katsovas?
Thank you, Mr. Wick. And Quinte West is also pleased to host a Trades and Tech Open House on April 21st. It'll be located at the Ops Center, that's 177 North Murray Street, from 5:30 till 7:30 p.m. This event welcomes all students and job seekers who are interested in pursuing apprenticeship and other job opportunities in the local trade and tech industry. Lastly, and most importantly, it's free.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Sharp?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to acknowledge the volunteers in the Battawa Lions Club and for the wonderful Easter egg hunt this past weekend. I think Mr. Morehouse said there were around 2,000 children there. I know there was lots of Easter eggs. I know the mayor and other people were there, but it's such a wonderful family event that gets you in that spring mood. I also wanted to comment on the Good Roads Conference that we attended last week, a few of us, and including some city staff. And there were two sessions that I just wanted to highlight, Mr. Very quickly. There were many keynote speakers and 25 educational opportunities at the conference. But the two that I just wanted to share was they were indicating there was some lawyers there and insurance companies that said the claims for city process in the courts is changing. And I think Mr. Angelo was at that particular session as well, and that they're going to be fast-tracking accidents and so forth, claims against municipalities without having discoveries. And this could be a challenge because when it's short-term without discoveries, you have to be ready and have the information quicker and sooner and faster. And that sometimes is a problem because you don't always have all of that information. And that will also apply to the individual who makes the claim. But I thought that was quite interesting. And then the second one was it related to not electric cars, but automatic cars with no driver, something I would never do. But anyway, it was an individual from the States who came and said, these cars, they had computers all over showing lots of accidents that someone is still behind the scenes running these, through computers. So it was just some of the things that you learn at these conferences. I thought those were two very interesting to share with council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Boyce?
Thank you, Your Worship. And I too want to echo my extreme disappointment in the recent, in agreeing with Councillor O'Neill in the recent process that went out. And, it's my understanding there was a scoring system, and I haven't been able to see how exactly the scoring system worked, but I would like to see this council receive a report from staff indicating how this process worked, whether there was any economic spin-off factored into the scoring process, going with an out-of-town company versus a local company that's, employs dozens of people locally. Like the economic spin-off surely has to count for some score. I'd like all of council to see a report to come to council before this tender is officially rewarded so that we
It's not
can.
rewarded.
Awarded. Yeah, it's certainly not a reward, in my opinion. It's, I'd like to see something come forward to council to see, so all of us can see how this scoring was done and why it occurred, because we talk, and we just received a letter from the chamber, and I echoed, and I agree with everything that they said in it, where we stress to maintain our businesses, business retention, just like we do with our doctors, but yet it's almost a slap in the face to a local business that gives back so much to a community and then sees this. I'm flabbergasted, to be quite honest with you. So I'd like to see a report come to our next council outlining how this process was done.
Okay, Councillor Rosemary, I'll come back to you here. Councillor Rosemary? No? Okay. Did you have another comment?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay.
My question is basically, was there another way to do this?
There's always another
Well,
way.
I'm just asking the question because it wasn't used. I was on Canada Day Committee, and was involved in the fireworks, raising money, et cetera. I was involved when this gentleman approached our committee to offer us free product, and the folks involved with fireworks wouldn't take it. It was actually the same year that they put on the first festival on the bay, and they showed us their product up in the sky, and everybody just went, wow. And from that point on, they've added to it with the drone show, a very unique thing. And basically, in my mind, you know, we are the fireworks capital of Canada. And then all of the other things that go on with this company, I know we're not going to mention it, but, you know, he's always getting asked for donations. Here, take it. And it's not just small items, great items. He's heavily involved with the community. And now our festival on the Bay is in jeopardy. And my thinking could we have taken that festival on the Bay fireworks and included it in along with the Frankfurt fireworks as one package, and they bid on that kind of approach. But
Okay, thank you.
anyway,
CEO Angelo, any comment at this time, or what would you like to give me?
Your Worship, I guess I'm looking for some sort of direction from council to direct staff to bring back a report to give you the background information of what's transpired to date, and I guess options for council to consider going forward, that you want us to consider going forward, whether it's amendments to our purchasing policies, et cetera, that would account for some of the things that some council members have mentioned in regards to in-kind donations or local content and local business, stuff like that. So.
Okay, Councillor Card?
Thank you, Your Worship. I am happy to make the motion or second the motion, whoever would like to make it. I think that the crux of the issue is, as Councillor Armstrong mentioned, the in-kind donations and finding a way through the procurement process to acknowledge in some way the in-kind donations through this process. I think that I think that's really where the solve going forward. It would be a way in the scoring process to acknowledge those, because it's obviously a huge benefit to the community. But if our scoring process doesn't acknowledge it at all, then I think this can happen continually, unfortunately.
Okay, I think we need, Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you. My problem is I voiced my displeasure when the first time it wasn't awarded, and I was told not to worry about it a second time, and then I find out through email that it happened with no heads up to anyone on council. And that's what I really don't like.
Well, you can attend every meeting. I guess that's your option. Councillor Boyce.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I think we need a report so that we can understand it and we can understand the scoring, because if there's no economic spin-off in that scoring and it's strictly on, for example, how many shells do you have? Well, I can tell you I'm going to donate 150, Class C shells, and another company will say, well, I'll give you 175 Class B shells. Well, you know, unless you're an expert, you're not going to know the difference between shells, the size of the shells, or anything. So you know, I want to know how this scoring took place, and I want to know. And it's my understanding that it was probably only a few $1,000s difference, and like to do this to a local company is just beyond me. So I agree with our CAO. I would certainly put forward the motion, or Councillor O'Neill or someone, that we ask for a report and we see it at our next meeting.
Okay. Got a, Director Grimman, anything you want to add this time, or it's up to you, you don't have to.
Thank you, through Mr. Mayor. As far as the process goes, the staff, followed the current procurement policies and processes that the city has. There were 5 vendors that participated in a request for quotation based on the dollar amount that this contract is to award. So at this point, unless council does direct staff otherwise, and it sounds like we'll be looking at those with the report that's coming back, we are continuing to follow the policy as it stands.
Okay. Questions? Sorry, Councillor Stedall.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would support the staff report coming back, and a method of redirection that we can take a look at, because supporting local, I think, is very important. I know the Ontario government now has a new act, the Buy Ontario Act, that's going to be legislated potentially and have to change our procurement bylaw. So this may be something that, given what's happening right now with trade and economics, it's a good time that we should be reviewing that as well. But I definitely support that we take a look at this particular contract. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Armstrong, it'll come now.
You just finished saying, you know, to attend all these meetings. There are no city councilors on these committees anymore.
Well,
And then that is the problem, I think. Because we're playing with taxpayers' dollars, and our job is to make sure we get more, in this case, more bang for the buck. And, it's,
no reason why they can't be there.
well, before we were designated to sit on it, okay? We have all kinds of committees and stuff like that. But it'd be nice that we could have a and maybe there's other committees where a councillor could be involved there.
Well, we'll ask the CEO
Okay.
to double check and make sure we're represented. Councillor McHugh.
I agree with most of the comments that have been made here, but I just want to make it clear. Staff did nothing wrong when they brought this report. If they followed the rules and regulations that this council or previous councils before us had laid out for them. So I hope we're not throwing aspirations at the city staff, but if we can bring back a report to clear this up that will appease everybody, that's great. But I think they did a great job with what they had, what they were told to do.
Thank you. Okay, Councillor Roseblade, then I'll come this way.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, has this been awarded? Is it too late now to change the process and redo this, or where are we at? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, you'll get the report. I think you'll see.
Well, it hasn't been already awarded, though.
Well,
Can anyone answer that?
Director CEO Angelo, sorry.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, it has been awarded. So typically through our request for proposals or our formal tender process, it's left for staff to do the evaluation. If it meets all the requirements of the tender or RFP, it's within the delegated authority by council to staff to award it. So this has been awarded. It's a $29,000 sort of contract that's been awarded already to the successful company. So it's in essence, it's too late, but if council wants us to consider, and we'll bring back options for opening up the purchasing policy to look at different options to consider what you're suggesting that we want to consider about buying local. And then we can go from there, so.
Okay, thank you, but I think that's what Councillor O'Neill asked for last year. I do remember Dave reaching out to me last year when this happened, and then he reached out to me right away this year because he was fuming that he did bring it to the attention last year when it happened, and it never got addressed.
Well, I don't think I can't say it didn't get addressed, because they went through the request for proposal, and the tender was.
Right. The policy didn't get changed, and that's not staff's problem either. Obviously, council didn't follow through to have it changed. But somewhere the ball got dropped, because it did happen last year, and I do remember Councillor O'Neill reaching out.
I still think we followed our process last year as well. We've got nothing against local businesses at all.
No.
So,
No, I didn't say we didn't follow the process, and staff did follow the process. I'm just saying somewhere the ball got dropped because it was mentioned before.
Thank you. Okay. And there are lots of things. What's the latest tender we've awarded, Director? How much? CAO?
To worship, I'm not sure what you're referring to, which
Okay,
one.
well, how about Matt? What's one of our, or what do you tell us? What's the latest tender that we have received and awarded? And how much?
Through your worship.
Point of order. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Just a minute, sir. Go ahead, please.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Through your worship, I believe you're referencing the trunk sewer project at approximately 35 million.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, and that's what we're looking at. Okay, all in favor of the motion that was on the table? That's
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to hear the motion again, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
To council, the motion I have is that staff be directed to bring forward a report regarding the procurement of the fireworks display for Canada Day.
Thank you.
Supplementary, if I could, I thought what we were trying to achieve here also is that we have a report on the policy and any opportunities for changes to it to reflect buy local. I don't think that's enough, that motion. I
Well,
think we need to have the second part.
I think we have to look at our policy and process before we try to change it. Councillor Katsovas.
Thank you. That would be the point I was going to make earlier as well. I support the businessmen in question, and I would have preferred that it went to this local business person. However, we're talking about a legal issue, and what to Councillor Sharp is saying, I would like it to go to all local businesses, cars included, for instance. This has been brought up in the past when we're awarding a tender to a small SUV or a pickup truck. There are local dealerships that I'd be happy to purchase from, or the city would be happy to purchase from, but unfortunately our purchasing policy goes with the lowest bid, and our hands are tied. But yes, I wouldn't like to see it just strictly to the fireworks. I would like to see any opportunity we can support local businesses in any procurement process.
CEO Angelo.
Thank you, Your Worship. So I see this as two reports coming to council at the next meeting. One about the background on and the status of the fireworks and where we're at to this date on how that procurement went ahead. Secondly, on amendments to the purchasing policy that allow what you're asking in terms of buying local. And those sort of options then for council to consider.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would ask for the second report to speak to acknowledgement of in-kind contributions, if that's possible. There's some mechanism to acknowledge that as well.
Yes, we can do that as well.
Okay, coming this way. Councillor Reid.
Thank you, and I just would like some clarification too, that it's not just the fireworks for Canada Day, but also Frankfurt fireworks, so fireworks packages.
Thank you. Councillor Stedall.
And I would support if there be a second part of that resolution to have the second report in regards to procurement and buying local, because it is a bigger issue and it's going to become a bigger issue. So yes, I would like to see that report as well, coming to council and not going to the committee. I would like it to this council, not to the audit committee, audit and risk. Thank you.
Thank you. Come this way. Councillor Quinte.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. It seems to me that the procurement policy came to our council just like a month or a month and a half ago. I don't remember the exact date, and we all just passed it, didn't even ask any questions whatsoever. So just throwing that out there. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? Okay. All right, so we got a motion then, or, okay? You're good, Mr. Clerk? All right, all in favor of the motion? Carried, thank you. Okay. All right. Anything else under council and announcements? Anything else there? Otherwise, we'll keep going. Okay. Okay. All right, approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting held on March the 18th be approved, and further that the minutes of the closed session council meeting held on March 18th be approved. Moving to seconder, please. Councilor McHugh moves, seconded by, need a seconder. Councilor Elliott, comments or questions? All in favor? carried. Thank you.
Approval agenda.
Pardon?
Approval of the agenda.
Okay.
It was
then,
before the minutes.
Sorry?
Yeah, approval of the agenda was before the minutes.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, I missed approval of the agenda. Sorry. I need a mover to seconder. Move the Councilor Reid and Councilor McHugh. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. Public meeting, please, concerning surplus land being described as unopened road allowance that crosses property identified as 170 Wickens Road being part of Lot 4, Concession 9, and part of Lot 4, Concession 10, Geographic Township of Murray, City of Quinte West. Okay, so I need, yeah.
Any public input?
Any public input? I need that. Any public input? Any at all? No, okay. All right, okay, we'll go on to,
Your Worship, you may just want to make it clear to the people coming up to the podium, it's public input related to the public meeting first.
okay, yeah, public meeting first, and then we'll come to general public input, okay? Anything with the public meeting? Any comments or questions on Wickens Road issue that we're talking about? No? Okay, all clear. Okay, come on up.
Okay, my name is Dennis Flintoff from Ambrosia, Quinte West, and this is?
My name is Ed Santos. I live at Orchard Lane, and we thank you for your attention.
So, we want to discuss a little matter with Young's Cove again in Prince Edward Estate subdivision. We assume that all costs related to handling wastewater for Prince Edward Estate would not be passed on to the Quinte West ratepayers. However, 2 pumps were recently replaced, with 50% of the cost charged to the homeowners in the estate. If the city covered the remaining 50%, this may contradict the original agreement, which was meant to shield the ratepayers from these expenses in Quinte West.
The voting issue on March 28, 2026 should never have arisen, as there may be an existing agreement with Prince Edward Estates. Any decision that may contradict that agreement risks undermining public trust and raises concerns about transferring costs to the Quinte West ratepayers. In closing, we ask Council's commitment to openness, accountability, and protection of ratepayers' interest in the City of Quinte West. We want to thank you for your consideration and time.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Anybody want to answer the question?
Public input, we can't.
I refer to our CAO.
Your Worship, all just for Council's clarification, 100% of the costs for whatever pumps were purchased for Young's Cove are charged directly to Young's Cove. There's no portion of the Young's Cove wastewater treatment plant system that's charged to the balance of the ratepayers or any other Quinte West water sewer customers. So I don't know where you're getting that misinformation from, but it's not correct.
Okay, no, that's good. Okay.
That's fantastic news. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else for public input? Anyone else? No, you're good? Okay.
This gentleman, I think this gentleman's confused here, the black shirt. Does he, I think the gentleman in the black shirt's not sure whether he should come up or not.
Okay, have you got something on your mind that you want to, public input, general? No? No? Neither one of you? Okay, well, we'll keep going. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, the next one is, under corporate services, that need a mover and a seconder. Councilor McHugh moved and need a seconder. Councilor Quinte. Staff report, Josh Mashinsky, Director of Corporate Services, regarding 2026-2030 Joint Compliance Audit Committee be received, and that a Joint Compliance Audit Committee be established in accordance with Section 8837-1 of the Municipal Elections Act 1996 for the City of Quinte West, County of Prince Edward, and the City of Belleville and local school boards. And the council approved the Joint Compliance Audit Committee terms of reference attached and the term of office, and that a bylaw to establish and appoint members to the Joint Compliance Audit Committee for the 26-30 term of office be brought forward to the April 22nd regular council meeting for council's consideration and approval. Thank you. Anybody?
I move the recommendation.
Okay, thank you. Moved by Councillor Sharp, second by Councillor Boyce. Comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. Okay, carried. All right. Okay. Yeah. Staff by Josh Mashinsky, Director of Corporate Services, City Clerk, regarding...
Point of order.
Pardon?
Point of order.
Oh, sorry.
It's Josh McChesney.
What did I say? Sorry, that's who I mean, sorry. Josh Machesney, yeah, I'll get it right. Yeah. Use of motorized vehicles, Trenton to Glen Ross Trail be received. Need a mover and a seconder?
Yep,
Councillor
I'll
Reed,
move it.
Councillor Coonsey. Comments or questions? Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the clerk. It says to be received, but under comments analysis, it says staff recommends the city undertake public consultation. Do we not need to make a motion to do that?
So I believe, or if it doesn't say this already, it should say that if council wants to support allowing motorized vehicles on it, then we should undertake public consultation.
So should we have a motion for that then?
Again, that's if council wants to allow it. Staff
Right
isn't
now,
recommending one way or another.
It does not allow motorized vehicles, and if we change or decide to change it, then you've got to have public meetings before that. Otherwise, if we leave it the same, we're not going to have any. Councillor Reed.
Thank you very much. I believe that we should proceed with public consultation to better understand the local impact of this. The motorized vehicles, it's a safety concern, as was stated in the report, and the Infrastructure Ontario allows for motorized use. And so when this was purchased, it said that it's for recreational use, motorized and non-motorized. So I would like to proceed with this with some public consultation. It's a safety issue. We're talking only about the part of the trail that goes from Bata Island or Sills Island north to Glen Ross. Currently, they can travel on the road, which is wonderful, but it's a very twisty road. And for safety reasons, I think that's why Bridget has written this letter, and I've had other calls. For safety reasons. So I'd like to pursue this, and I would like to ask for the public consultation to better understand this. I think it's an important thing. We do not want to lose any lives because someone is traveling on a road when there is a trail that, a short section of trail to take you from Frankfurt to Glen Ross to then get onto the larger trail section.
Councillor Roseblade.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to, Councillor Reed mentioned that it went from Bata Island north, but this map shows it starts south of Lock Road by Stockdale Road, the red trail.
That's where the trail starts.
That's where it starts.
But
I'd like to see the entire trail.
It's non-motorized there.
I know it is, but I would like to see it considered as motorized. It is part of the trail system, and it's blocked off, and it's grown in, and I don't understand why that people cannot use that trail for motorized vehicles, and I fully support it, and I'd like to, do we need a motion that council supports motor vehicles, or we just need a motion that we have public consultation regarding this issue? What motion should we put forward?
Yeah, I guess council, if you wanted to support public consultation, we could move ahead with that. That's probably what I would recommend, rather than taking a position on it one way or another, because.
Okay.
Yeah.
I support Councillor Reed's motion then for public consultation, but I want it to include the entire trail in red, not just starting in Batawa.
Okay, I believe Councillor
Councillor
Coonsey
Elliott.
made the motion, so.
Councillor Elliott.
I'm sure Mrs. Reed's going to comment on the same thing I am. She and I were both contacted by Lower Trent Conservation this week. They're not in favor of the southern part, and they were afraid of that because of the Belize Vale boulder, it is, and that conservation area in there. So we indicated, Mrs. Reed, I know, sent back an email, which I supported, that it was just mainly the northern section that we're talking about. So it was never intended, and maybe you want to talk to that more, but I just wanted to make sure Lower Trent Conservation has got a concern with about the southern part.
It was a railway bed, right?
Go
It was a
ahead,
railway tracks.
Just a
but
minute.
so-
Councillor Reed, go ahead.
Yes, it was a railway track, and, but there are a couple of locations on there that are privately owned that cannot have motorized vehicles on, part of it being conservation land. And another thing is, I don't think that there would be anything achieved by going through the village of Frankfurt on the trail. You can use, because that's very congested with homes and things, and you can use the roads in Frankfurt safely. So it's mainly the concern of going north from Sills Island, Bata Island, to Glen Ross. That's the part that I would like to focus on mainly, and mainly for safety reasons. And maintenance, because that doesn't get much use. The trail is growing in. If you've got some traffic going there. And I find that most people that own a motorized vehicle are very respectful of nature. And they look after it. It's, pardon me, but it's like farmers. They know the land and they appreciate the land that they're using and the land that they're walking on. Some people that are just walking, they're not very respectful of the land. I see it every day when I'm walking. You know, they're throwing their coffee cups because they don't want to be bothered turning around and going back down the trail. They don't pick up after their pets. You don't find that. I find that ATV or motorized vehicle people are very respectful of the land, and so I would like to see this consultation go through to see if it's a possibility for safety.
Councillor Siddall.
I'd just like clarification which resolution we have on the table right now, because the original resolution was just to receive it, which was going to continue with no changes, and now we've got another discussion going on about having a public consultation. So which resolution are we talking about at this point?
We can make
Can
whichever
we
one.
clarify that?
I don't think we're
Which one?
talking about either one. I think we're
We
talking
have
about
a
both
mover
of
and a
them.
seconder, I
Councillor,
believe.
or,
Don't we?
sorry.
Yeah, the original motion on the floor is just to receive. That's by Councillor Quinte and Councillor Reed.
Yep.
And then there's a request to amend it. So that's why I had asked for clarification before from Councillor Quinte whether or not he was okay with the request to amend.
I don't have an issue with asking the public, but my only issue is we have a municipal election coming up and our staff already have plenty of things to do. So I'm just wondering if we were going to do some sort of a consultation process, is this something that you'd be able to do this year, or is it going to be next year that you'd be able to get to it? Or do you know?
Well, I think we would have an internal discussion, myself and Director Grimmin and her communications team, and we could see how soon we could get this done. I understand that it is a safety issue for some people who are using it, and we've had multiple requests from residents to look into it. So we would, if the direction from council was to take a look at it and engage in public consultation, we do that as soon as possible.
Well,
It's
I'll
a
support
very
it then. I'll support the
It's a very
change.
contentious issue.
Yep.
Do you remember some of the meetings we
Yep,
had?
I do.
Yes, I do too.
But that doesn't prevent us from asking yet again.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can I finish?
It's not going to happen this
Okay.
year. It
Can I
can't.
finish my other question as well? My other question was, okay, so now that I know we're sort of not clear on the resolution still, the resolution is to receive, can we ask for a staff report back? Because it sounds like it's not even clear which part of the trail we're asking to be motorized. Like what is in this report and, you know, what Councillor Reed's talking about, they're two different items. So can we get a staff report before we get the public consultation, and then maybe some timelines in that staff report when the consultation can take place? Can we request that?
You can request it, yes.
I'd like to speak.
CEO Angelo first, and then we'll.
Thank you, Your Worship. So I think a lot of the information is already contained in the staff report from our city clerk. I'll tell you that the section through basically from Macaulay Road north to Frankfurt is owned by the Battle Development Corporation. And from previous history with them, talking to them, they have no they have indicated that they have no wishes to open that up to motorized vehicles. So going back to Councillor Reid's sort of comments, it was really the section from Frankfurt north that were really, that connection, that trail. And as I think Councillor Reid mentioned as well, there's certain sections too south of Macaulay Road that are under private ownership and not owned by the municipality, even though the trail may go through there, that is privately owned. So I think that's what we're really needing some direction from council for. The information's in here. It's just, are we looking at just the one section, or do you want to do public consultation on the entire section? Because I believe we already know some of the feedback already from Battle Development Corporation.
Yeah, and the south end that you're talking about, some of it's owned by Trenton Cold Storage, and some of it's owned by private individuals. And so they have all agreed to no non-motorized traffic on those trails at that particular point in the trail. So that's, yeah, and we went through all kinds of meetings, public meetings, and harassment and so on with respect to this. I'm not interested in doing it all again, so that's me. Councillor Reid.
I am talking about the northern section only for safety reasons. I'm not talking about anything in the middle of Frankfurt or south of Frankfurt. I'm talking about that section, and the letter from Bridget Gill is the one that outlines the area that we are talking about, and that's what I would like the public consultation on. Nothing south, because it is owned by different people, and that section is not. And it is allowed for recreational use.
Councillor Sharp.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no problem supporting the public process as we revisit this, but I do think it should be likely the new council and for staff, having been through this as staff and the council, when we went through it before, we had the river rats and the snowmobile and the not motorcycles, but the ATVs and then the walker, and it was very controversial, and it went for months and months and months. The workload, the public input, and it will fall to planning, recreation, public works, and it was very, and not to say it's always time to revisit things, but it's going to be a lot of work, a lot of time, and I know you'll put that in your report, you're coming back with a proposal. But to the mayor's point, I remember all of those meetings, and this was full, many nights, 4 months. And so what appears simply straightforward, it isn't. There's a lot of strong opinions for use on that, and Councillor Quinte was here. So I don't mind opening it up, but I don't know how you're going to get through this before November. So thank you.
I don't either. And the other part of this whole thing is that with the provincial legalization of the vehicles being used on the road, as long as they've got insurance and license, that becomes a police issue. But on that trail, how do we police it? Are we taking on that responsibility? I don't know. But I certainly, we have some four-wheelers, correct, Chief? One or more than one?
Your Worship, we have 4 in our system, and they're all
Four.
licensed and insured, yes.
Still isn't easy to start trying to police it, I can tell you that. But anyways. Okay, so, Councillor Rosemary.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one point. And I respect the landowners that own their section. If they don't want it, that's their decision, and I don't want to open that either. So possibly if we could have a map. This map just shows the trail in red. Here's the trail. Can we have a map that shows who owns what of it so that the public know when they come to consultation that they really don't have a say in this certain section because somebody else owns it. The city has no say if someone else owns that section. But you can't tell by the map that's presented here on who owns what. It just shows the red trail To me, it looks like the city owns the whole thing. I know they don't, but if that's possible when you do consultation, can you show that so that the public can see that? Thank you.
Yeah, we would have those maps because we went through this. And parts of the south end are owned by Macaulay's right up to, what's the name of the road going across there? Anyways, they own a fair section of that. Badawa Development owns a fair section, and there's some on up in. So, but anyways, we can get maps. So Josh, what are you prepared to do, or what can you do with respect to what council's asking for?
For the public consultation?
Yes.
Well, I can work with Director Grimmon's team and see what the timelines would be and what we could do, whether we could set up public sessions, where they would be, all the logistics. I would work with her team.
Okay. And I'm sure that if we go through this process, people are going to come with the attitude that we're looking at opening up more of this trail to motorized vehicles. That's what worries me, because I don't see the need for that. I think they've got a license and insurance, and anyways, that's me. CEO?
Your Worship, but just before you sort of call the vote, we need to be clear on what is the motion. Are we looking at just a section from Frankfurt North, or is it the entire section that's shown on the map that we're doing public consultation?
Well, I
just so
think
we're clear, and then that Josh is clear as well when we do the public
The motion
consultation.
is the section from Frankfurt North. That's the motion that I'm hearing.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
But my gut tells me, once we open this up, people are going to come with the idea that we're looking at, anyways. Councilor Katsovas.
Sorry, I don't want to speak for CAO Angelo. I think he needs an actual address. I know Councilor Reid already referred to it. As in the letter, it says Hearns Road to Glen Ross. We can't just say Frankfurt North, I don't believe, because some people may come to the public consultation that aren't in the boundaries. Is that correct? You'd like Hearns Road investigated to Glen Ross?
Well,
That's a public consultation?
actually, it should be from off North Trent Street, which is Bata Island, north to Glen Ross.
Okay, so as long as there's two addresses, a start point and an end point.
But they can travel the road and get on the trail wherever they like.
They can, but they've just had a
I
request
know.
for safety.
I think you have to be safe regardless, and it's the operator that's got to be safe. That's my opinion, so anyways. Okay, are you clear?
I'm clear.
Everybody clear in favor of the motion? I guess that's what I need to see.
Can you please read the motion again?
You want to read the
Yep,
motion?
so
Okay, read
the motion is that the report be received and that staff be directed to undertake public consultation for the use of motorized vehicles on the North Frankfurt Trail from North Trent Street to Glen Ross for that portion of the trail.
Can I ask for a recorded vote?
Sure.
Sure.
Councillor Ellier.
Yes.
Councillor Armstrong.
Yes.
Councillor Boyce.
Yes.
Councillor Card.
Yes.
Councillor Kotzavos.
Yes.
Councillor Kunze.
Yes.
Councillor McHugh.
Yes.
Councillor O'Neill.
Yes.
Councillor Reid.
Yes.
Councillor Roseblade.
Yes.
Councillor Sharp.
Yes.
Councillor Stedall.
Yes.
Mayor Harrison.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Did it carry?
Shoot myself in the foot.
Okay.
Okay. Right there.
Second place.
Okay, the next one, the decision is at correspondence from Samuel Hirschholm, OAA, co-founder and principal, Biosis Real Estate Development, regarding request for extension of redevelopment credit to 4th Avenue, Trenton, Ontario. And the resolution that council directs staff. Mover and the seconder.
What
There's
resolution?
no resolution on here. It's not complete. Can I move a resolution? Is that with this, the correspondence be received?
Yeah.
Just for receipt?
Seconded by Councillor Cart. Any other questions? Councillor Quinte.
So if we just receive this, then this gentleman's not going to get an answer to his question about his request for a 6-month stay of his question. So, am I correct? So I think that we need a little bit more information in regards to our. If we just receive this, then he doesn't get an answer, and then that could put the whole thing in jeopardy of happening. So, I just wanted to know if there was.
Okay, well, let's CO Angelo, do you want to answer that question?
I can, Your Worship. If council just receives the correspondence, then the answer is no. There's no extension granted. So similar to a previous request that we received that council debated at the last council meeting, these extensions have some implications and costing on the municipality. So in our viewpoint, you can either receive the correspondence and the answer will be no, there is no extension granted, or you can refer it back to staff for a staff report, which will provide the options and the exact issues or concerns that from a staff's perspective may have in regards to council. Then council can make a decision at that point in time.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. So I'm not going to support just receiving this motion, and we'll hold the vote and see what happens after that.
Okay, well, let's, all in favor of the motion, that's what I need to hear. See. What? 2, 3. Yes, to receive. Motion carried, to receive.
Well,
Now,
that's too bad.
Do you want to, at this time, do you want to add another motion that?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to put a motion on the floor that we ask staff to review this letter and ask if staff have any ideas or suggestions that might help this application go through, because what's at jeopardy is a 200 unit apartment building that we so desperately need. We were just talking earlier about apartment buildings and not the last meeting as well. And we need to do what we can to help wherever we can. So I would like to see a staff report come back from our staff about ideas of how we can do this, and are there any costs to our city or not if we grant a 6-month extension.
Okay, so you made you're moving a motion?
Yes.
Need a seconder for the motion that he's moving. The seconder? Motion's no seconder? Motion's lost. Okay. All right, then let's go on to B. Again, council direct staff.
Again, I would move that this be received.
Okay. Councillor Stedall moves, seconded by Councillor Roseblade. Any comments or questions? Councillor Cart.
Thank you, Your Worship. I know we've received a fair bit of input now. I think this is the third of these, and I know it can be, there's some frustration maybe from the developer builder side, but in fairness, the province granted 18 months. Everyone knew the date that these development charges would go up, and I know we obviously want this building to happen, but I mean, the cost for exemptions, the Stella Crescent, $2-3 million of development charges, it's very significant, and I think ultimately with this, even if council does receive it and the new development charge rate is applied, a project of this magnitude, I don't know if Director Jardine wants to comment, but it would only increase costs. Is it fair to say maybe a few percent? Ultimately, is that fair to say that this change is not massive in the scheme of the size of this project?
Through Mr. Mayor, yeah, I think as a percentage based on some of the conversations we've been having with the developer, I think the additional development charge cost would be about 2 to 3% in total. of the entire project.
Anything else? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Next one is the landing, Trenton Dump DBIA Improvement Area Procedural Bylaw. Council will receive and approve Trenton DBIA Procedural Bylaw Schedule A of the Trenton Business Improvement Area. Mover to second. Councilor Stidle, Councilor Reid. Comments or questions? Go ahead. Thank you, Councilor Stidle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to comment on this because there's a significant amount of work that went into this, not just by the board, but also with our clerk, going through their manager of legislative services, and appreciative of the time that was spent. There was a consultant hired as well to go through this. It's very extensive, and what it tries to do is to improve the procedures for the DBA and when they're meeting, so that there will hopefully be able to make the meetings a little bit more straightforward without some of the other rhetoric that's happened in the past. So anyway, it's a long document, and it doesn't supersede the current bylaw that we have in place. With the DBA, this is just simply a procedure and how they will conduct business.
Councilor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would echo Councillor Steddall's comments and agree it was certainly due for an update, and I think this is a good product, and certainly a ton of work went in. Thank you.
Okay. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, proclamations. Council will proclaim April 24th as Human Values Day in the city of Quinte West, and further, the Quinte West sign at the Veterans Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color red on April 24th, pending no scheduling conflicts. Okay, all in favor?
We haven't got a mover.
Oh, sorry, didn't get a mover and seconder? Oh, Councilor Sharp and Councilor Reid. Any other comments? All in favor? Thank you. Okay. Okay, so now I'm at the council proclaimed the month of April as the month of military child in the city of Quinte West, and the council proclaimed Monday, April 27th, 26th as Teal Up Day in the city of Quinte West. And further, that the council, that Quinte West sign and the Veterans Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color teal, blue, for the month of April 26, pending no scheduling conflicts. Councilor Armstrong, I'll let you move this, and seconded by Councilor McHugh. Any comments? Any comments? None at all, Councilor?
I support the military, especially being a base brat, and there's probably others, maybe.
I definitely agree with the one word. I'm just starting.
I could start name calling here. No,
Right.
but yeah, no, it's very important. I think they raised it today at the
Yes.
base, or yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but that's okay.
it's very important.
What
MFRC and all that stuff.
What other comments with respect to what's happening in the other parts of the world and the base that,
Oh, well, we have a man in space, #1.
yeah, right,
That's very important. I know a couple pilots know him and all that stuff.
that's right.
And then I don't know what we're doing in the Middle East in terms of the
I
other.
don't know either, but
I know, but I have a
I've seen-
feeling there's something happening, maybe.
I've seen a number of aircraft flying over my place the last,
Right.
today and yesterday. So,
And then Ukraine,
Yeah.
our NATO commitments, and guess they're getting ready for Greenland. Just,
right. Anyone else? All in favor, I guess? Carried, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, I'm at the council proclaimed the month of May as environmental sensitivities, multiple chemical sensitivity awareness month in the city of Quinte West. And that council proclaimed May the 12th as multiple chemical sensitivity awareness day in the city of Quinte West. And further, that the Quinte West sign and the Veterans Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color yellow the month of May, pending no scheduling conflicts. Mover and a seconder. Councillor Reid and Councillor Stedall. Any comments or questions? Comments or questions? No? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. And submission received from Santa Ally Marketing and Communication Coordinator, Cystic Fibrosis Canada, requesting council proclaim the month of May as Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month in the city of Quinte West. And the council proclaimed the May as resolution. Need a mover and a seconder for the resolution. Councillor Boyce moved, seconded by Councillor Sharp. Comments? Either one of you? Comments? Councillor Roseblade?
I just have a question. We're passing all these proclamations and everybody wants it a different color on the bridge. How easy is it that we're changing this? And I'm just curious. And the first one wanted it in blue and now we want it in yellow and then we want it in another. So how does that work? Can staff explain that to me, how that works?
Director Grimmon, can you answer that question, or who? It seems quite easy.
We have through you to Councillor Roseblade, we have a very intricate calendar that we endeavor to use. If someone proclaims, the whole month, then we keep it that way as long as if someone has requested one day, then we'll change it to that day. We do the best we can with the amount of requests that we receive, but we do keep track of it all with a calendar. Yeah.
Councillor McHugh?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the councillor was asking who goes out and changes the light bulbs on a regular basis in a different color. I think it's electronic, is it not? If the colors are all there, are they not?
Just shoot out the light bulbs, that's all. You want to answer his question, somebody? We won't ask you to do it because you're colorblind, is that right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Anyways, I think it must be a switch or something that, because I know that the colors are often changed. And
Director Grimmin.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, we have some different systems in place where we can update that. Some are easier than others, and we can do that remotely from City Hall. Others we have to do at the site. So we work very closely with the clerk's office and make sure that we can accommodate as many requests as we can in a year.
okay. Anything else? All in favor? All in favor? Carried, okay, thank you. Okay. And we do have people here with cystic fibrosis in our city, so. Okay, and the next one is,
I'm sorry, I meant to say something under cystic.
Go ahead,
I apologize.
go ahead.
I just thought it was a good opportunity to acknowledge our local Kinsman Club, our major supporter of cystic fibrosis, and of course internationally and in Canada, but they fund a lot for cystic fibrosis, Kinsman.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, the next one is council proclaimed the month of May 2026 as GBSCIDP Awareness Month in the city of Quinte West. Okay. Councillor Reid moves, seconded by Councillor McHugh. Comments or questions? Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the next one is the council proclaimed the month of May 26 as Community Living Month in the city of Quinte West, and further that the Quinte West sign and the Veteran Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color blue/green for the month of May 26, pending no scheduling conflicts. Mover and a seconder. Councillor Katsovas moves, seconded by Councillor Allier. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, anything under correspondence? Printed information, and we were in the seconder to receive. Councillor Quinte is moving, seconded by.
I'm sorry, what are we receiving?
Roseblade.
What are we
Any comments
receiving?
on any questions on any of the information?
Printed,
Yeah.
printed, non-printed. He wants to know what we're receiving.
And are we talking about all the printed and non-printed items? Yeah, so I have a few comments if I could.
Yes.
Please, Mr. Mayor. Thanks. So reading through Hastings County, who assists the city of Quinte West in many services like emergency services, long-term care, human services, which is where I picked out this little comment that I wanted to broadcast, that Jamie Lynn Osmond declared employment and financial assistance, homelessness initiatives and prevention, Ontario Works, administrative services, children's services, and housing services. They received 30,000 phone calls in 2025 for Hastings County. So they were really busy. Yeah. That's a lot of phone calls. That's a lot of phone calls. For all of these services, of which Quinte West participates in not only funding this, but receiving the benefits, which of course Hastings County is currently building an apartment building that we are hoping that they will hurry up and get that finished and get it, and it'll be occupied shortly after it's finished. Next, I wanted to discuss was the Heritage Advisory Committee. So reading through the minutes, I believe this is from January, and I'm really not certain exactly what they're talking about, but there's a list of historical properties that are at risk of development, and I'm not really certain what that is pertaining to, so I'm hoping staff can help me out with that, what that is. And then also in the Heritage Advisory Committee, the chairperson, Lapointe, stated that he will prepare a budget for research specifically to the 4 potential properties. And I'm not certain what he's talking about, but I am certain what his budget's going to be, and that's going to be 0. The City of Quinte West has already established its budget for 2025, and the Heritage Committee, if I understand correctly, doesn't even have a budget, and I'm not going to be supporting getting them one. So I'm not certain how we're supposed to deal with that, because if we pass these minutes, then that means he's going to be doing his budget. So I just wanted to know what the list of historical properties are, and if staff is going to help me out with that at a later time, that'd be fantastic. And then how are we going to tell him that he doesn't have a budget?
Director Jardine, any?
Yes, thank you through you, Mr. Mayor. Attributes that used to be on what was referred to as the LACAC list. That was the previous terminology for heritage, the Heritage Committee. And look through those properties in debate and make an argument as to whether or not they should be designated as full heritage properties. On the second point, I think the Heritage Committee understands there is no budget. Whether there's going to be a request for budget in 2027, we'll obviously bring that forward to Council at an appropriate time, but the committee is well aware of their current budget status. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Anything else? Anything else under? No, nothing? So all in favor of receiving? That's what okay, carried, thank you. Anything under new business?
No, notice of motion, sir.
Notice of motion?
I have one, sir.
Go ahead. For the next council
Yeah,
meeting.
thank you, Your Worship. Whereas the City of Quinte West seeks to foster a competitive business environment for commercial and industrial ratepayers, and whereas ancillary non-residential structures of low construction value, such as coverall buildings and tea sheds that do not typically increase the long-term demand for municipal services, such as water, wastewater, or emergency services, to the same extent as primary building expansions, and whereas the current application of development charges on these low construction value structures can act as a financial disincentive for businesses to modernize their operations or improve site safety. And whereas the City of Quinte West previously approved exemptions for agricultural farm buildings, and whereas the City of Quinte West is supportive of finding a fiscally prudent method of offering development charge relief to commercial and industrial property owners without placing an unnecessary burden on the general tax base. Therefore, it be resolved that staff be directed to bring forward a report to Council on the financial impact of exempting the wastewater portion of development charges for ancillary, non-residential, non-agricultural structures of low construction value, such as coverall buildings and tea sheds. And that is my motion, sir. Yeah, for next council.
Can I waive the rules of procedure so that we can go ahead and approve that at tonight's meeting instead of waiting for 2 weeks.
We can do that,
Okay. I put that motion on the floor that we waive the rules and proceed.
I'll second that.
yeah. Second by
Okay.
Councillor Hare.
Question?
You have to ask
So the
for,
motion is on the table that was just read.
To suspend the rules.
to suspend the rules.
I just have a question, the notice of motion, that's basically what Councillor Stedall had brought up last week. Okay, thank you very much, thank you.
So we have to vote on the suspension of rules first.
Right.
Okay,
So we've got a motion to suspend the rules.
right.
All in favor?
And I think, everybody in favor of that, I guess. Carried, okay, now the motion is.
Now, my motion's on the floor. I make my motion, I guess, on the floor.
I'd second the motion.
Thank you. Councillor Stedall seconds the motion. Any other comments or questions? Councillor Quinte.
I believe Mr. McHugh's message was he's asking for a staff report.
Yes.
So are the staff expected to give the report now, or are we going to get the report in 2 weeks' time?
Be directed to bring forward a report to council.
So is that what you want? You
future.
don't,
I want to bring forward, I want to have time to bring forward a report. That's what I want. So the motion's on the floor. Right now, if we pass it, the direction I understand goes to staff to bring back in the future a report on the.
I thought we'd already discussed this in a previous council meeting.
We did.
That,
Well, we discussed it with a percentage, which I didn't think was fair, because every building that can be purchased, you can buy from different developers, have different prices on them, or you could build your own, so the DC charges will be totally different. I'd like the public to understand, as well as everyone here, the implications of a fee, and I think the fee should, in my opinion, should be based on square footage going forward. If you want to build a 10,000 square foot building, you should know what it's going to cost you without the water, sewer, and everything else that's being attached to it. So that's why I'm asked this to be brought forward. So it's a fulsome report on everything. 30% was great, don't get me wrong. It was a step, I think, in the right direction. But whether 30% was the right amount, I don't know, because we didn't actually get a proper financial report from the city as to what we're binding ourselves to.
Councillor Stedall?
I'm supporting the report come back because what I had actually asked for was that the base charge be instated for these coverall buildings and that the sewer and the water, if they don't have sewer and water connections, that they not have to pay the development charges. So it wasn't a fixed percentage or anything. It was just making sure that we have the base charge for the development, but we don't, if they don't have water and sewer and they can't connect to it, there's no point, I think, in having them pay that amount. So, but a staff report, I think, will make this more fulsome and clearly explain it. So that would be great.
All right, thank you. Then, all in favor of staff report? Carried, thank you. Okay. Anything else under other business or new business? Anything else?
Yes.
Councillor O'Neill?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, the mayor and I attended on Tuesday Be a Donor flag raising. The
Yes.
stories were quite impressive, and everyone should consider being an organ donor. If you listen to the stories, you'd really know what a difference it does make.
You're right. Absolutely. And there was a gentleman there that had just had a liver donation, what was it, 4 weeks ago, and he looked fantastic. And the person who made the donation has already gone back to work. Anyway, so, thank you. Okay, Councillor Elliott.
Yes, I got a question for Director Tracy. Given the state of cost of our fuel and what have you soaring and on a daily basis pretty much, and I know it's going to cost us more for our trucks and our equipment and everything else. I'm wondering how this is going to impact our repaving and road resurfacing, because it's all based on petroleum. Are we going to be short, I guess, some funds to maybe complete what we all planned this year, being this has all of a sudden come up in the last few weeks, and it looks like in the next 2 weeks, maybe it'll get resolved and won't be so bad. But I just wondered, are these soaring prices going to affect our road resurfacing projects down the road with the increase? Because you know it's all petroleum based. So I just wondered if you had any indication in that regard.
Through your worship, I can't speak specifically to our roads, major roads projects. However, those bids are out right now and will be closing in the next week or two. So we'll actually have firm numbers shortly. In terms of the fuel cost, that is It didn't take very long until we started getting put on notice from companies that they may have to start charging fuel surcharges for those type of related. It has jumped up, but hopefully it'll start resolving itself. And we'll have better firm numbers here on our major asphalt work shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Councillor Stedall?
Just one thing I wanted to bring note to council is that I got a call today from the health unit saying that they will no longer be testing for West Nile virus on my property. They've always done that for a number of years. Used to be, it's been done down in Montrose simply because it's very wet down there. They said that the funds have been canceled and they can no longer continue the program. So just making council aware that that's sort of one of the things that have been cut.
It's too bad, because that's always been a vital program from my point of view, and a good one to be able to ask them to do it, and, yeah.
Well, and it's human resources that they don't have, because all they did was they put a trap on the back of my property. They just come in once a week and they would, take it away and then do the sample, but they just don't have the
But they also did them
resources.
in other places, not just yours.
Yeah, it's done throughout the city, but it's too bad. I mean, I know there's lots of things that the health unit does, but it is, anyway, making the public aware that that's being canceled.
So it's an indication of what's going to happen. Thank you. Anyone else? Anything else? Sorry? Oh.
Your worship, it might be, in light of Councillor Seto's comments, it might be good for council to direct staff to invite Dr. Oglaza to our next meeting of council to sort of explain the status of the health unit and what's happening, because the last thing we understood, and Councillor Kosovas can allude to this as well, is that there wasn't going to be any changes to the services provided until further consultation with the municipalities. And again, I'm hearing this now, and I wasn't aware of this, so this is another change that we didn't believe, or right now I'm not believing that we were informed about. So it might be good if you want to give us that direction, we'll invite Dr. Oglaza to the next meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Councillor
I'll be
McHugh
happy to make
moved,
that
Councillor
motion.
Card second, all in favor? Carried. The other topic right now is conservation authorities. I'm going to ask either Councillor Reid or Councillor Allier to bring us up to date on what's going on with, yeah.
Well, right now, we're all just staying tuned and posted because we don't know anything for sure. There's several conversations going on. They're being downsized. They don't know what that's going to look like unless.
They're not being downsized.
Well, they're being cut from
Amalgamation.
36 to 9.
Amalgamation.
36 down to 9, that's a significant change in the amount of conservation authorities, so.
So is it do we have any say in what's going on, or?
Well, there's been a few things brought forward. The one good thing in our regard is we will have a membership on the future board, whatever that is, or whenever it's put together, where a lot of the other municipalities, the smaller ones, they'll be represented through the counties. So the board we set on, and I know Quinte Conservation is somewhat different, but it's going to be the same. The other representatives that we set with, we're the only one that will have a representative on the future board. Regional government, single-tier governments will have a membership. So that's one thing. But other than that, we don't know what offices are going to be left open or whatever. That's still up in the air. They have been talking about efficiencies and whatever, and even though they keep saying that all employees are going to be kept on, other than the CAOs. So there's a lot of stuff floating in flux, I'll put it that way. And we're getting updated as much as we can. We got a meeting tomorrow afternoon, maybe there'll be something new tomorrow. But and we've met with the MPP. I know the CAO and myself and the vice chair, Mr. Wielden, and I sat in on a meeting with him, and his basic words to us was, we have a majority in government, and we're going to move this forward. So there has been a few tweaks to it, other than it's gone from 7 to 9, but stay tuned.
So any idea where the office will be located for our city, or where we would, where our?
That hasn't been indicated. We have 2 in our jurisdiction, thank God, but that's still to be brought forward.
Mr.
Director
Mayor.
Oh, sorry, Councilor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Question, are they talking cost savings for the amalgamations like we have for the health board?
That's what they're telling us, yes.
They're going to be
They're
looking at
for-
efficiencies is the word.
Yeah, efficiencies, yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Quinte.
Right at this point in time, they're putting together a team to assist with the amalgamation process is where they are at, with no decisions on who's going to be placed where or what office we'd be reporting to. The only good news for Quinte West, as Mr. Elliott said, is that we're going to have a seat, and we're only going to have one conservation authority to deal with. We won't have multiple conservation authorities to deal with going forward. And all this is to take place a year from now. So for the next 12 months, it's keep doing what we're doing.
Director Jardine, any further comments from your point of view, or?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No, nothing to add other than what the councillors have already said. Yeah, just waiting for more information. Thank you.
Okay, anything else under, otherwise, bylaws, I need the bylaws read first, second time, third, I need a mover. Councillor Reid and Councillor McHugh, any questions or comments? All in favor? Thank you very much. Mayor, we'll read them and find. All right, so, okay, so confirmation, I need a mover and a seconder for adjournment. Thank you very much. Take two, and thank you very much.